Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, good morning to everybody that's in here so far. Welcome back to another daily fact and stats show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm gonna give some people some time to get in here. Two turn was good. I'm gonna give some people some time to get in here. So, in the meanwhile, I'm gonna put this little background music on just real quick, real quick. Bruh, stop it, bruh. B Young was good. Shaggy was good. My dog George and Dallas, man, couldn't have landed in a better spot, dog. Y'all understand, bro? Come on, bro. Stop it. Stop it, man. That's a great grab for Dallas, though, Patrick. No matter how people want to toss and turn it. That'll be funny as hell. You know why I didn't push Pickens prop. What? Everybody in here know why I'm not pushing. Everybody that know me know why I ain't push Pickens. Why he was on the team that he was on. I'll never do that. Ever. I would never do that. All right. I am Shaggy in a second. Yes, happy Wednesday. Good morning to everybody that's in here, man. Good morning, everybody that's in here. Cannot wait to talk sports with you all. Cannot wait to talk sports with you all. Good morning to everybody that's in here. I'm enough of the background music in about 1 minute. Excuse me. Yes. I used to have to edit out the songs that was played every single day. That was so annoying. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, the music it calmed me down and gets me ready for the show, man. With that being said, it's 11:05. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. If the people are here early, they're here early. Welcome to the best show in the world. I slept super duper great last night. Another day of being able to host Facts and Stats Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Another day of being able to host the show Facts and Stats Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you are in here, do not forget to take your shoes off at the door. Do not forget to take your shoes off at the door. I need to find an editor. You damn right. I need to find an editor. That's one thing I'm heavily seeking and searching for. Trust. But either way, if you are in here, take your shoes off the door. What does that mean? That means liking this video, hitting the thumbs up button, hitting that thumbs up button on this video, hitting that thumbs up button on this video or this live stream. That helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across the Fact and Stat show, and more than likely be willing to tap in, be willing to subscribe, be willing to comment, be willing to join the stage, whatever the case may be. Also, feel free to comment. I read every single comment for the most part. And then if you are willing to do so, make sure you share this out one person. Sharing it out one person will be super duper helpful, and I'll be super duper appreciative of that. Whether it's an iPhone chat, Twitter group chat, Instagram chat, or whatever group chat you in, or whatever person you know that likes talking sports or listening to sports talks, please share this out with them. And then last but not least, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. It's a great platform. I'm the host of the show, and I allow anybody to come on the stage and speak their mind. I will drop the link to join the stage in a second. I allow anybody to come on the stage and speak their mind. Sorry. How's it not working? But yeah, I allow anybody to come on the stage and speak their mind. Next, there are a couple of things that you guys can do to extend your support for the platform. Shout out to the most recent member, Omari. He became a member of the Fact and Stats family on the YouTube side of things, and you can too. How can you become a member? The link is in the description on this video. There's 3 different levels you can join as. They all have different customized perks. They all have different or they all have the ability to send different emotes into the chat. And then you also obviously get the Fact and Stats logo next to your name when your name turns green. And that's just extending your support for the platform. I would love for everybody that's not a member to eventually become a member when they feel like the time is right or best for them. Also, you can send super chats and super stickers at any time throughout the show, and I'll be greatly appreciative regardless. And as you see on the back end, up here, they say all extended support is greatly appreciated. Next, make sure you all follow on Facts and Stats on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's all at Facts. That's all at Facts and Stats _. That's all at Facts and Stats _. Following the Twitter is the most important one, and I am also going to try to up the activity on the Instagram and TikTok side for marketing and promotional from a marketing and promotional standpoint as well. So more people can find out about Fact and Stats, and more people can come inside of Fact and Stats. And that is not for you all to say, "Who is this? Who is this?" Somebody's coming in here wanting to talk sports. So that's where I'm at with it. That's what I'm focused on. Definitely for the next couple of weeks, month, or whatever the case may be. Reminder, Fact and Stats 3rd annual cookout. Fact and Stats 3rd annual cookout is June 21st. Fact and Stats 3rd annual cookout is June 21st. I am going to try to plan like a bowling for that Friday. So if anybody do fly in on Friday, try to get an early flight. And we can probably bowl Friday night, Saturday to cookout, and then we can probably look to do something on that Saturday night as well. So again, the 3rd annual cookout is this Saturday. I said this Saturday, June 21st. June 21st, this Saturday. Damn, I said it again. June 21st, y'all. That's a Saturday. My bad. Next is the Playback Room. That's playback.tv/facts and stats. Joining the Playback Room is super duper important, man. The show started on Spaces 3 years ago. I want to say I was like one of the first to shift to Playback like 2 years ago. Shout out to all the content creators and everybody that's on Playback now. But it's a great platform. Allows me to host a show there if I choose to do so as well. Obviously, right now or lately, or really over the past couple of months, my main focus has been YouTube. And I'm glad I was able to eclipse 1,000 subscribers with the support of you all and all the new people, and even all the people from TikTok too. Shout out to y'all, most def. But Playback is just as important as YouTube. It's a platform or it's an app you can download that costs $0 to do so, and also $0 to join the Fact and Stats Playback Room. How can you join the room? The link in the description on this video. It's saying that 1,855 members. Again, we watch live NBA games in there every single night. Even yesterday, it was late, but we watched this little soccer game. Looked like there's some more soccer games today and some baseball games today. But the main thing we'll be focused on is the Celtics versus the Knicks at 7 p.m. And then also the Nuggets versus the OKC Thunder at 9:30 p.m. And this is Eastern time. PSA just reminded me the show would not be, I cannot be that present tomorrow. So I'm going to have to try to find Heaven Center or something for tomorrow. Because I only can host for like an hour. I got to be somewhere at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I only can host for like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. So that's just a heads up. Please somebody remind me to tell Heaven sent that, or somebody, please. Next, Fact and Stats website. If you do not have any Fact and Stats apparel, and you claim to love Fact and Stats, that is a problem. That is a problem. The Fact and Stats website is factandstats.us. I'm gonna show you all what the website looks like. It looks just like this. As you see here, a picture of me at the top in the off-white shirt with the Speak Your Mind on the back. Scroll down. I have a lot of white and black shirts ready to go today. If you want the new shirt or the new design, I have a lot of white and black shirts ready to go today. or you also can order a pink, blue, and the most popular one right now is off-white, which I should be getting a bulk of them in today, if I'm not mistaken. Should be coming in today. But either way, not a bulk, but a good amount of them coming in today. Either way, or more. White and black ones are available. White and black ones are available right now. All of them are available right now, but I have more of the white and black. Again, that's factandstats.us. Far as the design is Fact and Stats in a heart shape. For people that love Fact and Stats, so I titled the collection "Love Fact and Stats," and then on the back it say "Speak Your Mind." And "Speak Your Mind" is obviously the slogan. So this is what it look like. So Fact and Stats on the front like this, and in the back, "Speak Your Mind." So that's all it is. If you do not have a Fact and Stats shirt, check out the website. The website link is on the description on this video as well. The website link is on the description on this video as well. And again, that's factsandstats.us. Fact and Stats Gambling Discord. For all my folks that gamble, that Discord should be on this YouTube page. That Discord link should be on this YouTube page. And for some reason, if you do not see that link or the link is not letting you join, just DM me on Twitter at @factandstats_, and I'll let you in the Discord. Again, the Discord is free as well. You can join the Discord, you can share your plays, or you can join the Discord and share your plays, or you can just tell plays. Shout out to Chan. Chan just smacked back-to-back days, and I told myself yesterday I was going to tell whatever Chan sent yesterday. Didn't even do it because I was live on TikTok. That's the thing about TikTok. When you go live, yeah, I make money when I go live on TikTok, but it's just like, damn, I be forgetting to do other stuff, bro. Like, it be blowing me. Shout out to Chan, though. Jordan Woods said he placed an order today. Shout out to Jordan Woods. You are a level 3 member, I believe. Jordan Woods, yeah. Level 3 members have a discount code. Do not know if you are aware of that. Level 3 members have a discount code. Please reach out to me or text me before you purchase a shirt, please, so I can make sure I tell you that discount code. Please reach out to me or text me so I can tell you that discount code. Justin Crumble took advantage of that literally the other day. Shout out to Justin Crumble. Chan is level 3? Damn, I ain't Chan. Wait. Oh, wait. My bad. I don't think Chan level 3. My bad. I'm going off the color of your thing. My bad. I'm tweaking. But yeah, I know Jordan Woods and Justin definitely both level 3 for sure. Either way, make sure you all get a Fact and Stats shirt. Make sure you all join the Discord. Speeding it up real quick. Who sold your parlay? If you got sold by anybody, please drop it in the chat. I don't call my L with sell, to be honest. Curry couldn't finish the game. If Curry played, it would have hit. It is what it is. He had 13 points in 13 minutes. The nigga would have scored 18 easily. Chalk it up. It is what it is. You live to fight another day. When it comes to making another. Do anybody got anything that they got sold in the chat? Do anybody have anything to where they got sold in the chat? Please let me know. If anybody got anything to where they got sold in the chat, excuse me, please let me know before I let Shaggy up here. Anthony Edwards, he said his whole name. Ant Soldier. Ant. I placed and hit my first ever halftime lay last night. Shout out. Ant, man. Who said, why am I getting ads about Blue Chew? I don't even know what Blue Chew is. Keep it a wrap. Player of the days, bruh. Player of the days. Drop y'all players of the days in the chat real quick, man. Who was the player of the day, whether it was hockey, whether it was WNBA preseason? Speaking of that, I'm going to shout out Deja Kelly. Deja Kelly, you are my player of the day. Let me give her some love real quick. Deja Kelly scored like the last 4 consecutive baskets for the Aces in last night's preseason game, and she hit the game winner. The reason why I'm giving her a shout out real quick because it's somebody that was projected or expected to be drafted after her collegiate career. Did a lot of years at UNC, and I think her last year, I always mix these schools up. It's Baylor or Oregon. I always mix them up, and I want to say it was Oregon. Again, I always mix them up. But shout out to Deja. She's now trying to make the Las Vegas Aces roster. And that was obviously a good sighting for her to score 4 consecutive baskets and then also hit the game winner. So shout out to Deja Kelly. That is my player of the day. I want to give her some Oregon. Thank you. I want to give her some love. Gotta be Hallie. Shout out to Hallie. Beth say Hallie too. Shout out to Deja. Facts, TJ. So that's me. If anybody from baseball, hockey, my headphones don't finally come up. Baseball, hockey, anything. Draymond Green. Baseball, hockey, anything. Right, I talk about some she buzz. All right, so that's that, bro. We're gonna go ahead and move. First and foremost, I love when trades like Ozuna. Shout out to Ozuna. I love when trades like this happen, man. I love when trades like this happen. When teams go out and get another guy, and in the Cowboys, we was wondering, not just me, like a lot of people, football fans. Let me just put it like that. Football fans was wondering why did the Cowboys want? What are they doing this offseason when it comes to another pass catcher along CD Lamb, right? And they went out there this morning. It was rumored a little bit last night, but they went out there this morning and got George Pickens, opting away from opting out of adding a pass catcher or whatever the case may be in the draft, especially at that top pick that they had in the draft. They went offensive lineman. They now went out and got George Pickens. Excuse me, guys. They went out and got George Pickens. I lost the trade that fast. That's right here. Give me 1 second. They got George Pickens and a 2027 6th-round pick, and the Steelers received a 2026 3rd-round pick and a 2027 5th-round pick. And this is right after the Steelers went out and got DK Metcalf. So people were thinking or anticipating what that pairing would look like. Some people, and also some people was thinking, okay, well, since DK is in, George is probably on his way out. You're going to need a new contract, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Me personally, and now it's also reported that George Pickens does not want to sign a new contract yet. He wants to sort of kind of prove himself this season coming up with Dallas and then seek that new contract with Dallas. And if not, obviously somebody else. But me personally, I believe in going to get guys and making your quarterback's job as easy as possible. Dak Prescott had a real successful season. He still had a good season after this anyway. But Dak Prescott had a real successful season after when it came to him having Amari and CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, we know what happened with that whole Amari situation, and now you still have CeeDee, who was viewed as a top 3. If you want to be safe and say top 5 wide receiver, cool. And then George Pickens also has one of the best hands in the league and is viewed as to most, I'll probably say a top 15 wide receiver. I like the move. I love the move. I think the Cowboys will look to shake back this year coming up. They dealt with a lot of injuries last year. And whenever you can have 2 guys like that on CD and George on the outside that can create for themselves and just a tough cover period, you gotta love it. So that's like a quarterback's dream to have a situation like that. There's a lot of good wide receiver pairings in this league at the moment. You have, and if I miss a name, just type it or say it on the mic. You have Tyreek Hill and Jayden Waddle. You have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. You got Jettas and Addison. If you want to say Debo and Terry.
Are we naming anybody now?
Chase and Higgins. I would not put Debo and Terry in that.
Chase and Higgins. If you want to say Zay Flowers and Rashad, you know what I'm saying? Show my guys.
That was even worse than Debo and Terry. Good Lord.
Nah, but on the serious note,
we saying St. Brown and J-Mo before that, bro.
I'm taking Rasheed and Xavier. Fuck that.
Oh Lord. But yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of it. I like the move. They got another guy on the outside of CD, and I think they still have Jalen Tolbert in that wide receiver room as well.
And Mingo, who they traded for God knows what reason
last year. And what was that, like a 5th round pick or something like that? 4th round pick or something?
4th or 5th, I can't remember.
4th.
Yeah. So I like it.
I love Jerry Jones.
Obviously, if I had to just say one thing, from a critique standpoint about their offense, which one of their running backs is going to pop? Is Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams? I really don't know. But from an overall standpoint, with those 2 pass catchers, I think they should be fine for the most part. And it's going to all come down to how they hold up this year, offensively and defensively. Somebody refresh me real quick. Didn't DeRon Bland leave the Cowboys?
No.
No, he's still there.
Okay.
He's still there.
All right. Well, before I pass to one of my brothers up here that I want to speak to it, the NFC East is loaded with wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Terry, AJ, Devontae, Malik, George Pickens, and I refuse to say the last name.
Don't say the last 2.
Darius Slayton on that list is crazy, bro. That shit nuts. Even the last 2 names is kind of nuts, but definitely Darius Slayton.
And then this is what the Steelers wide receiver room looks like minus George Pickens. So DK, Calvin, Robert Woods, who's Rome, rookie last year, Scotty Miller, Ben, Brandon, and Lance. And as of right now, it's rumored that they're going to try to look to add Allen Lazard just for the sake of obviously Aaron Rodgers, who may potentially end up in Pittsburgh when it's all said and done. So I'll pass.
Rock Taylor is going to make that list as well. UDFA in Memphis.
Okay. I'm going to pass to Shaggy and anybody else that want to comment on George Pickens ultimately landing in Dallas with the Cowboys.
Man, oh man. This is the best news I got this week, man. Good and bad news. I got to root for Dak Prescott, but listen, man, this George Pickens shit, this is a top 5 talent at the position. I ain't talking about play. I'm talking about talent wise. This guy is a freak fucking athlete. Can run the routes, take the top off the defense, give him the ball, figure it out. I see people saying, "Oh, he's a diva, crash out." Who cares? Who gives a fuck? I don't care, Ev. Wide receivers do that when you're not feeding them, when you're not pleasing them. Please them and they won't crash out. Who gives a fuck if you're a crash out? You gotta learn how to harness that though. Teach them how to harness that. That's what Steelers didn't do. They don't know. Steelers don't know how to treat people. They don't. Everybody they get is a fucking crash out. Like, come on, bro. What more is there to be said? Listen, I'm not a fan. Me personally, I'm not a fan of him playing this year without a contract
Me neither.
because of the injury shit. But I hope it work out for him. I hope it work out. Hope he don't get injured. Hope he have a great season, get the bag, you know. But this is about to be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This might be the first time in my life I enjoy watching Cowboys games. Like, for real. This is crazy. Where Brian at, man? Where Brian at? Brian.
I'm up here, man. Hey, you was a goddamn fool. I'm up here.
What's good? Y'all can hear me?
This is funny.
Yeah. So
What's up?
Shaggy, you can't hear Young?
Yeah, I heard him. And
Okay.
listen, I'm letting y'all know now. Whoever joined the fantasy league, if I don't get CeeDee Lamb, I'm trading a bag for him. Let me know.
Hey, he a fool, boy.
Shaggy's a nut, bro.
Shaggy funny. Al, Shaggy, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
So I'll take the Steelers side first. I think the Steelers, made a very clear statement that this is, a move for 2026 and beyond. Them trading for DK was because they don't believe George Pickens can be a true number one wide receiver, and DK's closer than that, and they feel comfortable paying DK that, and don't feel about George Pickens. Now, people can have squabbles about that. I think that's understandable, but that's the way they look at it. Ultimately, they have 3 third-round picks because they're projected to get a comp pick for Dan Moore. Ultimately, that'll be in the 3rd round. They will have ammo to move from what will probably end up being a middling season that we expect from Mike Tomlin, overachieving with this roster, and be able to move up into the top end to go get a quarterback in 2026 to solve what has been a serious issue for them. So I understand it. I think it's fine process. I think they were holding out to make sure they can get a day 2 pick for Pickens, which nobody was put on the table until Dallas came out of the draft and didn't have a wide receiver 2. So good for them. Understand it. And I get where they're going from that perspective. And it doesn't, like, if they had kept George Pickens and gotten A-Rod, they weren't going nowhere in 2025 anyway. This is
Exactly.
true.
No point.
And it doesn't mean that they can't still sign A-Rod. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but ultimately it's the same result either way as far as I'm concerned. So from the Cowboys perspective, on the football field, I love the fit because George Pickens is a true outside wide receiver. I think he's a very good number 2. You pair with an actual elite number 1 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, this allows him to continue to be inside and outside versatile as far as the offense is concerned. Ultimately, the diva stuff is the diva stuff. I think the Cowboys are going to be throwing the ball a lot this year, which Dak is very comfortable doing. And so I think that there'll be plenty of targets to go around, and it should keep, George Pickens happy from that perspective. Obviously, he gets a major upgrade in quarterback play as well. The process of the Cowboys, I don't love. I don't love it because I still think that they could have gotten better value as far as the draft was concerned to build things out. And still addressed as far as the guard position was concerned with their draft picks, and we talked about that when we went over their draft. It's tough because either you traded the 3rd round pick to go get George Pickens to go for this year, and then George Pickens walks in the year. I'm not sure I love that process. Or you traded the 3rd round pick and now, either have to extend George Pickens at a market level in the next offseason, which it sounds like it won't happen before the season. So I don't love the process from that standpoint, but I love the football fit as far as it pertains for 2025, and I think it'll be a good passing offense to say the least, as long as Dak Prescott is obviously healthy. It's a team process that I don't necessarily love, but they obviously are the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and they always want to try and be a good competitive team, and that's part of getting George Pickens. So that's kind of where I land on it. It's gonna be fun to watch them as long as Dak is out there.
Yep. Well said. Be young is a Cowboys fan up here. I agree with a lot of things that Shaggy and D-Mac just said for sure. What's your thoughts on it? What's your reaction to the trade and how you just feeling about it?
Nah, I'm happy. No fucking time. I'm glad to see Jerry wasn't bluffing about, because I thought he was bluffing. Talking about he had 2 trades in the works and shit. I guess this is what he had in the works. One thing I say about him, because people say he'd crash out George Pickens. One thing I say about Jerry, he not
It was good, Andrew.
he not tripping over a motherfucker who got problems and shit. We seen his history. He don't care about that. Cause he don't want to be a hypocrite. He ain't no quiet boy. So why the fuck really care about somebody having issues or whatever. He ain't scared to take a chance on somebody like him. That's one thing I will give him. He down to get. He's a perfect cowboy. That's all I'm gonna say. So, as far as the offense, now we gotta. Somebody said it on Twitter. I was Mike Gallagher on steroids. Basically, is who George is. Finally got that traditional X. CD now can.
I beg your pardon?
You said what?
I beg your pardon. What did you just say?
Michael Gallup on steroids. As far as contested catches, that's what I mean. That's what I mean about
that's
that.
super disrespectful to George Pickens. But you're a Cowboy fan, so I guess I get it.
No, he's better than Michael Gallup. Don't get it twisted. So he's way better than. I'm just saying, as far as the contested catch and going up to get the ball. That's all I meant. Like he's way better at that. That's all I meant. But yeah, I like the move, man. It just make the all season even better. Like make the draft look even better because they had a good draft. Now it make the draft look even like 10 times better. Now that we got a wide receiver too, so I'm happy. So that's all I got to say.
Appreciate that. Before I pass it to see what Sosa got to say, if you are in here, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button on this video. That helps the algorithm out. Shout out to the couple of folks that typed it in the chat. I didn't even peep it, but yeah, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button on this video for me, please. Sosa, my brother, what was your thoughts on this trade right here on both sides?
I think Jerry hit a home run, to be totally honest with you. I mean, we've literally seen CeeDee Lamb put up insane production no matter whom the quarterback was with no real help on the outside. I like the moves they made at running back. And I'm not mad at the strategy they're employing I think the running back part of it is something that we need to realize. Like they've overspent on running backs in the past and it's completely fucked the organization. So they're never going to spend a lot of money at that position ever again. Right? When you look at the rest of the division, you got to match the talent across the board. You got CeeDee Lamb. You have to have a wide receiver too. There's really no question. Look at the rest of the division.
Yeah.
You know, Washington went out and got help. They went and got Debo. They went and added in the draft. They then you got Philly, who has the best 1-2 punch. You go to New York. New York's got multiple weapons now, not just Malik Neighbors. I mean, obviously the wide receiver 2 situation there is still a question mark. But in regards to this, I think that I like it for the Cowboys. I think it upgrades them as far as like him playing outside every play. Contested catches, like who was it that said that B. Young just said that's a thing. But I think that the whole diva shit, bro, is such bullshit to me. I hate when we attach like the words head case to somebody, right? And I really dislike it because if you had Kenny fucking Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields throwing you the fucking ball, why the fuck would you be happy? The quarterbacks he's had to play with fucking stink. But yet people keep saying, oh, man, he's a head case. Yeah, because he's not getting the ball, and the quarterbacks he's played with are ass. You know what I mean? I think that I hate when people say, oh, he's a head case. No, I mean, he's wildly competitive and wants to win. You think losing makes any competitor happy? Like, you think
that man is 1,000% a head case, bro.
I don't think he's a head case. I think
even when he gets the ball, he still is a head case, bro.
Nah. I don't think he'll have any problems. Also, no 5th-year option, wasn't a first-round pick, so you get rid of him. You get compensation for him because you probably wasn't going to re-sign him anyway. That's the thing, right? Like we could talk about talent all day. He wasn't a first-round pick. No 5th-year option. He's playing for a contract as well. So I think that's major. I think he comes in and all that head case shit. We won't even think that at all this year. He'll come in on his best behavior, have a great year, and line himself up for a payday. I don't believe in the head case thing, especially when athletes know they got to play to get paid. Watch, he will go to Dallas and be on his best behavior. We won't hear nothing about nothing.
I will bet you he won't.
I agree with that, but I will say if
I
Dak
promise
isn't there, then that will be an issue. That if Dak isn't there to distribute the ball, then that's the issue. But again, if you don't have your quarterback, then everything's fucked anyway, so it doesn't matter. That
I agree with, but because it gets back to what the original statement was, like all the quarterbacks he's played with have been ass. So obviously this is all predicated on Dak Prescott being healthy and available. But I don't. The whole head case thing can easily be eliminated if the team just wins. Now I know people are going to say the Steelers have won, but they've marginally been good. Like, let's be
and had
honest.
awful offenses.
Yeah, they've been marginally good, and the quarterbacks he's had to play with again are ass. I mean, like out of all the quarterbacks he's played with right now, are any of them really truly starters today in the NFL?
Fields is.
Okay, Fields. Okay, Fields, I give him. But Fields, played 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Right. You know what I mean? But you look at all
the bad quarterback play.
Look at all the other quarterbacks. Trubisky, backup. Rudolph, backup. Kenny Pickett was the backup for the Super Bowl winning team this year.
Russ will start until Dart takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
But you would look at Russ now as like a fringe starter.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Dak
He's
making $60 million this year. He's got to perform. He has to. So
that boy about to see the most one-on-one coverage you ever seen in his life.
And if you get anything from the run game, I don't see why the offense won't be good.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
They drafted 2 running backs too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they address things correctly instead of like, because remember I don't think they'll ever take a running back in the first round ever again, because the Zeke contract ends up looking like one of the worst in football, given how the running back position got devalued, and it kind of fucked them up in regards to the way they assembled the football team. It really did fuck them up for about 3 or 4 years. There's no escaping it.
They're a pass-happy team, and they're not going to be focused on the run. So some mixture of Javonte Williams, Jadon Blue, and the other kid that they got out of Clemson, they think will piece it together, and that's probably
they got Maffa. They got Maffa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't love the process, because I don't know how much it changes them from being still behind the Eagles as far as the division. So it's like, well, are you a contender?
The Eagles and Washington.
Well, yeah, but I'm being, I ain't saying Washington. I'm just trying to couch it, because I know the Washington thing would be contentious, so I'm just trying to couch it.
I'm just saying they won 12 games, and also listen, I'm also like, second year quarterbacks, there's usually some level of regression. You can't, like, you're winning close games, fucking Hail Mary against Washington, a couple of crazy comebacks. I get it.
No, James due for some level of regression for sure.
But I think with that, I think they built a much better football team around him, and I think that helps too, right? Like, it's not. I don't think like you're gonna have to. I don't think he has to be as spectacular in like for every game per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think he can. I think the defense will be a little bit better. Though across the board, I think that the football team will be better. Also, the Giants are going to be way better too.
It's hard to be worse.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah, they will be.
That's not.
But they will be. They should be better. They should be better. I agree with that, because they should be better quarterback play. The thing I'll say, Amadou, talked about drafting a wide receiver. I think that it is important to understand that this is in the context of the Steelers preparing to drop a quarterback into things for 2026 and beyond. It is not that important to them to have a set wide receiver 2 going into 2025. And I made the joke about the Allen Lazard thing earlier today too. Like, that could happen, but they understand, like, they still have an off season to go get a wide receiver 2 next year when they want to get a quarterback, and they try and make things happen around that quarterback then.
Somebody asked in the chat, and I think about to say something too, D-Mac. But where would y'all or us or we up here rank them as a duo in the league when you think about the pairings across the board?
Second.
Immediately top 5. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not here to like decide like on the numbers. I mean, because what are the top 3?
Chase and Higgins, AJ and
Smitty,
Jefferson and Addison, Smitty and AJ. They're not better
over
than
Jefferson and Addison.
They're not. No way.
Who now?
I love Jay.
I'm taking CD and George.
No,
I'm taking CD and George.
You're taking CD and George. See, that's what I love about.
Maybe I'm missing a duo, close. But I'm not discussing those top 2 as far as the Bengals and Eagles. After that, right? I can understand a discussion, even though I love Addison and Jefferson more. I think that they're comfortably top 5 though, because I do think Pickens is a top 25 guy, and I think CD is a top 4 guy at the very worst.
But who comes out then? So we have Eagles, we have Cincy. How are we feel about Hill and Waddle?
I mean,
You can't even rate them, bro. Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
two
like-
seasons ago,
I was never in love with that duo to begin with, but I do think that they were in the borderline top 5 conversation for sure.
I'll tell you one thing: if they
I'll
had,
take CD and Pickens personally.
if I'm gonna say this, and I really mean this shit, bro. If they had like a Matthew Stafford as their quarterback, we would be looking at Waddle and Tyreek much differently. Yeah. I mean, like it would be night and day, bro. It would. I think that part of the system and like the way that things work, he can't throw the deep ball like at all. There's no over the top explosive element to that offense, and it's hindered what you can actually do with them. They also have they put so much into what Tua brings that I don't think you really get to see like the full ability of those receivers. I think that's part of what plays into it with them. And I think they would easily be top 3, 4, 5 if they had a quarterback that was consistently good and they actually had a vertical part of their off. They have no vertical offense at all with Tyreek Hill and Waddle. So it's hard to really, because I don't feel like their abilities are being maximized. And I think that's the biggest problem.
Well, Tyreek did say he was the most accurate quarterback in the league, so you got to take some blame for that. I will say,
I mean, sure, throwing bubble screens.
The Puka and Tay thing is interesting. I want to see a little bit as far as the level that Devontae Adams is at, but I think that will be a very, very lethal duo coming up this season. I'm trying to think of other duos that we may be forgetting.
You got Mike Evans and Godwin and shit like that.
But Godwin's coming off an ACL.
It ain't that many more, bro.
Listen, Godwin's coming off an ACL, and then they just drafted a receiver in the first round.
Ibuka. Yeah.
So yeah, like Godwin, I think
wide receiver room from hell. To be honest with you, I love that one.
Duos. I mean, you can't really. There's not one in Houston. They only have one.
Yeah, that's it. I'm looking at the teams right now. That's it.
Yeah, I think that you can comfortably say that they are top 5. With a real discussion to be in that third place. To be honest with you, because
contingent on the quarterback.
Y'all niggas is bugging. That's not it, bro. Rasheed Rice and Worthy is a duo, and St. Brown and J-Mo's a duo to me. So I don't know about y'all.
But as far as top 5 contention though, like I'm also looking at it like who can squeeze into the top 5 would be a combo. Rice and Worthy is not a duo. Like that's not like a duo yet.
It's a duo, but they just.
Bro, yes, it is.
That's not a duo yet. We haven't seen. That's not a duo. That's not a duo yet.
Okay, we haven't seen these two guys play yet.
The St. Brown and J-Mo.
You talking
the St. Brown?
That's not the same thing.
I mean, you was calling Garrett Wilson and Tay Adams a duo. Look what they did.
They were. To me, that was going to be a duo.
They were fucking shit.
But they didn't do anything. It didn't work though. To be fair, to Shaggy's point, it didn't work. I will say London and what's it called?
Mooney?
No.
Just saying what the production was. I'm simply mentioning these guys.
Mooney did a K.
Nigga, London and Mooney did better than Garrett Wilson and Tay Adams.
Yeah, they
Mooney had a season, bro. Mooney had a year last year. He had a year.
I don't think any of these guys are necessarily better than CD and Pickens. I'm just going through the list as far as
you have CD and Pickens at third, D-Mac?
I think that they're in discussion for it. I think they're comfortably top 5 though.
Debo and Terry. I'm not mad at that. See, you can't really. Debo's coming off his worst year. He's coming off his worst year as a pro.
Puka Adams is going to be better than a lot of these.
I'm reading the comments. Listen, that is not me. I'm just reading the comments.
TJ, for it to be a duo, you need 2 receivers. Not a fucking back and a receiver. Not a wide back and a receiver. A wide receiver.
I got nothing to say. Fuck Debo. He's a bitch.
Hey Ari, I'm with you. Puka and Devontae.
Baby.
Puka and Devontae top 3. That's all I'm gonna leave that at.
No, I think there's a real discussion for them to be top 3, but comfortably top 5 would be where I place them.
I think that for as far as the quarterback, it's a perfect fit for Adams because Adams not going to beat you over the top 6-7 times a game. I think Stafford's a perfect quarterback for Adams. He's white.
Can
I mention?
Yo, bro.
I'm going to mention one last duo.
Bro, you a nuts. So what the fuck?
Devontae Adams can't play with black quarterbacks. He can't.
I'm going to mention one last duo. I'm not saying that they are in this discussion, but I'm going to mention them. Brian Thomas Jr. and Tet. That could be a combination that I think will be fun. So.
So why
Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis? You mean Travis,
not Ted. Sorry, my
I'm
bad.
like
Travis.
Ted went to Carolina. I'm like, okay, Travis I can look forward to that. I'm over here tripping like that nigga went to Jacksonville.
What you about to say, Ed?
And Zay Flowers and Rashad can't get no love. Like this,
Nigga, what?
this is crazy.
Saying the nigga
bro.
who didn't
We
even
just got
700
Rashad
yards.
Bateman to a competent wide receiver. Can we
Okay.
just can we just
Okay.
back out,
He had a
bro?
breakout season
Okay.
over here.
What? No, that wasn't a breakout. But you gonna see
Whole
this one
time is
coming
Zay
up.
Flowers and DeAndre Hopkins.
You gonna see this? You gonna see this one coming up? It's gonna be a breakout. Just watch.
Season with 700.
Yeah,
That was not a breakout.
Right.
That was not a breakout. No, that was not a breakout.
Yes,
That
it
not a breakout.
was.
No, it was not.
Nah.
This season coming up.
Didn't he have like 10 touchdowns? That's his breakout season. The yards
not
might
bad.
not be there, but the touchdowns were there.
My brother in
Stay
Christ.
tuned.
With,
Stay
with-
tuned.
hold on, real quick. So no, hold on. So like, what would you? So what's a really good season when Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are your quarterback and running back? Like, what's a good?
Yeah, he
season
had a
for
he had a good
What do you-
year, but that's not a breakout year. Don't do that. No, that's not a breakout year. This year
What do
coming
you
up
think
gonna be
this
a breakout.
nigga gonna do this year?
He's not getting
He think
140 targets.
he think this nigga getting 1K. He think this nigga getting 1K, bro.
He's not getting 140 targets. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we got to be realistic with the way we
I'm
look at receivers.
I'm not putting a number on anything. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned, guys.
He's not.
Just stay-
Listen, he's not getting 130 targets, Ev.
Just
So
stay
that's
tuned.
what I'm saying. It's like it's just not the way the offense works.
Double
just-
He
digit
got like
touchdowns here.
he got like 80 targets last year, right? With like
That's what
11
I'm
touchdowns.
saying. Like he's not gonna
Ev,
get like,
Ev,
and there's nothing
Ev, you
wrong
know-
with that.
Ev, you know Rice and Worthy don't outproduce that duo this year, right? You know that, right?
Rice and what?
Bro, without a
Rice
doubt.
and Worthy.
They fucking better.
See you in the playoffs, D-Mac.
Okay, see you in the playoffs, brother.
Yeah, see you in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean
You
Zay
get there this year.
did 756 and 9 touchdowns last year. If I had to put a number on something right now, I'm looking at 850, 900 with 8 to 10 touchdowns again.
What did Bateman do?
They did what?
I mean Rashad.
Amen,
Rashad
Rashad.
did that.
And it was
Yeah.
and listen, say the numbers one more time.
756, 9 touchdowns, 72 targets. That's
How
good.
many?
I'm not
How
mad
many
at that.
catches? How many catches
45
Well, how many targets?
on 72
on
targets?
72 targets.
Bro, it's gonna. You know how hard it is gonna be for him to get 1,000 yards.
I didn't say 1,000. I said give me
He
850
said
to 9.
800.
Yeah, 850 to 9. He'll be somewhere in that ballpark, probably 850
And
or 850. I'll be on for 850.
and the touchdown
850,
production-
850 with 8 to 10 touchdowns. That's a
the
good season.
touchdowns. The touchdowns were what?
9. That's
Yeah.
a really good.
That's
really
what?
good.
That is a breakout season, bro. What the fuck?
He's
Yeah,
mid,
definitely.
bro.
That's
Nine
definitely
touchdowns?
breakout.
He's mid.
How-
Yeah,
how
9
many-
touchdowns ain't nothing to scoff at.
And how many receivers had double-digit receiving touchdowns last year? It couldn't have been more than 10.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me look that up.
If we're because that listen, double-digit touchdowns is huge. Fuck 800 or 1,000 yards. You get in the end zone 9 times. It's a big deal.
No, I agree. Let me see. So you had Jamar Chase. We had 10, 1, 3, 5, 9. Yeah, Jamar Chase, Terry, St. Brown, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, and BTJ.
So only 9 players had double-digit receiving touchdowns. Dog, 9 touchdowns.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
8.
offense.
That's actually 8. That's actually 8. Yeah, that's 8.
Okay, so 9 touchdowns in that offense is phenomenal. And another thing with I think with it, didn't Mark Andrews didn't he like take weeks to finally score? And then
Yeah.
or
He
and
had-
then
he
he
had
and then he
11
ended up
touchdowns.
and then he didn't he end up with double digits?
Yeah, he had 11 touchdowns.
And he was second on the team with 9. Yeah, that's a breakout year, bro. I don't give a fuck if you have 1,500 yards and 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean? You get well, now I'm lying. 1,500
To me,
yards.
it's a breakout year. I think that he broke out to be
It's a breakout year because
competent
who the
wide
player
receiver.
is. His bum ass.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You year 4. And also, I think the number one thing is being able to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
big thing for him too.
That was the most
Absolutely.
important thing with Bateman. Like, is he going to be able to play every week?
Yeah. But that's that. That's that. Shout out to the Cowboys. Shout out to the Steelers. Any other comments on these wide receiver duos, pairings, or George Pickens going to Dallas? Anybody? All right. Justin Achilles, what's good? That's that. Shout out to the Cowboys. Landing the wide receiver too. I love what D-Mac said. I'm all for it on a football perspective. I do hope it's not a 1-year thing. I would like for that pairing to be together for a couple of years, at least alongside of that quarterback, Dak Prescott. He's obviously a guy that likes to throw the ball, air the ball out. He'll have a lot of opportunity to do that while having CD and George Pickens on the outside. Both of those guys should be happy this year, 1,000%. We're going to transition to the next thing that we're going to talk about today. And as you see in the title, what the Haliburton, Pacers take a 2-0 series lead. Before the news even dropped, I said I think the Pacers were going to win game 2. Before the news dropped with Garland, Mobley, and Hunter, I just felt like the Pacers were going to win game 2, regardless, because I didn't view them as a team that were going to come in and lay down and still not try to give that full effort to win game 2. And I think last night they did that. Obviously, they started off the game super duper slow. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell started off the game super duper hot. Sam Merrill, Max Strus, all these guys, like role players stepping up when obviously they needed to step up because they knew what they were playing without or who they were playing without. Pace on the other side of things, they walked them down slowly but surely the whole entire time after being down 17 points after the first quarter. And I keep shouting this team out, man. They just got so many guys that can contribute for them on an offensive basis. Literally so many different guys. They had 6. Damn, what's up with these ads, Mo? God damn. They had 6 guys in double digits last night and still had a good game from Obi Toppin off the bench as well. Obviously, this game came down to Tyrese Haliburton. He probably scored he scored like the last couple of buckets in a row, like 2 layups.
8 points in the fourth.
Yeah, 8 points in the fourth, and I think like 6 of them was like straight, or I want to say whatever. They probably was straight, to be honest. A couple of layups, got at the free throw line, made 1 out of 2, missed the free throw, got offensive rebounds, hit a 3 to ultimately win the game. The Cavs didn't have any more timeouts. Neesmith, big. Matherin, big. The whole entire Siakam even had a big layup toward the end of that game as well. This whole entire team, man, they just know how to play basketball. They play the same way every single night. They never really have a drop off when it comes to offensive or defensive standpoint. When they swap Hallie and TJ, or when they bring in Ben for Neesmith, or whatever the case may be. I seen a tweet this morning that Neesmith is averaging like 16 points per game throughout this playoff series. So, throughout this playoff run. So, they have 2 guys that actually rise into the occasion in the playoffs, and that's Aaron Neesmith and Andrew Nembhard. So, I want to give the Pacers credit, 1 for trading for Neesmith, and then 2 just making sure you have a guy like Nembhard in the backcourt with Haliburton. Ultimately, and then even down to them trading for Siakam, they set themselves up with a good 8-9 man rotation to be able to beat whoever they play. Now, I'm not saying it'll be Boston, but they'll give themselves a chance to beat whoever they may play in the playoffs. And even last year's series against Boston was really good. So, congrats to the Pacers taking game 2. As far as the Cavaliers side of things, it's back-to-back years where they're dealing with injuries in the playoffs, and we can't, you can't say nothing about it. Jared Allen last year with the ribs. Garland, they dealt with injuries last year. They're dealing with them now. Mobley dealing with an ankle. Garland, toe, and I think Hunter was the finger. All 3 of them guys did not play. But like I said, you heard me say Max Strus. You heard me say Sam Merrill. Why? Because those 2 guys combined for 37 points last night, on top of Jared Allen giving them 22 and 12 in the middle. This game came down to they worn out, bro. They flamed out. Ty Jerome did not help at all. 1 for 14 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. He had 2 points. It just wasn't enough from a fourth quarter scoring perspective, bro. D-Mitch could not do everything. They got outscored in the fourth quarter 36-21. And the better team on the court last night ultimately came back and won that game, which I feel like was going to happen while I was watching this game. I live bet they spread a couple of times because they were just too disrespectful, to be honest with you. You could have caught they spread as high as like 16.5. I think I got it at 13.5. I expected the Pacers to come back and make a run, and they did that. So, shout out to the Pacers going up 2-0. They now headed back home. Me personally, I think the series is over because I think that they're going to win game 3 or 4. Not saying they're going to win both, but I will be hard to believe that Cleveland wins both games in Indiana when I expect the Pacers to play even better at home in Indiana than what they did on these 2 road games right here. So that's my thoughts on the game. I'm going to pass it to T real quick as a Pacers fan, hear what he got to say about the game, and ask the other folks up here on the stage as well.
I was just going to start off by Jerome here. He was the one who committed that foul to give Pascal the N-1-3. He's the second creator out there. When you don't have Garland, when you don't have Mobley, et cetera, he has to give you something offensively. If it's not the scoring, he has to be, a playmaker, getting others involved, getting Jared Allen, some touches towards the rim. I thought they defended as well with 3-4 specifically guarding screens. They were completely shading to one side, so pretty much not even let us get into his feet. And then when the ball did hit those wings, they were hitting it directly to the basement. I thought the defensive game plan was fine. They came out and hit some big shots. To your point, I don't think they win both in Indiana. I don't think you get the Donovan Mitchell whistle we've gotten in the first 2 games because to me, some of those fouls were just utterly ridiculous. I don't know if you're watching that, if you had that same opinion, but some of those Donovan Mitchell fouls to me are just utterly ridiculous when he's driving, losing the ball, and he's just getting rewarded for those. Regardless, though, they let us stay in that game. We always have the shooters to compete. Like Ev pointed out, and I pointed out, we got that one, and in Cleveland, we're not a team that thinks, oh, we did our job, we got our one. No, we're going to go try to get 2. We're going to try to get 3 and try to get 4. like in a row. Like we feel we can win any night. We have the adequate shooters. We have the defense for it as well. Speaking to the defenders we have, 32-15. I think we're one of the best playoff defenses at the moment. And I believe we've been a top 10 defense since the All-Star break. So all those included, you see everything. Haliburton was great to end that game. Pascal struggled getting to a shot. I thought they guarded him well, just, putting smaller guys to face him up and strong guys behind him. But outside of that, amazing game out of Haliburton, bro. I can't ask for more. The shooters do their job. Hell of a young squad, bro.
Well said, bro. Hell of a young team. And I said this earlier in the year. I want to know how you feel about this. And I could be off, right? I could be doing too much. But I had said earlier in this year where probably like November, December, something like that, where you guys made a move for Siakam last season, but you still have a lot of assets on top of probably even picks that you can still make another move. Like and I brought up the names of like Jerish or maybe even Ben, right? Or maybe even Obi or whatever the case may be, somebody in the starting lineup, whoever you want to pick. Would you then use a couple of those guys and then try to land another key guy, or would you just keep your depth and just let it continue to rock like this?
It all depends on the guy. If to me they fit the identity of the offense and they'll buy in defensively and you can have it for multiple years, then yeah. If the move's there that makes them better, make that move. To me, regardless if Siakam is in the move or not, if we can get better. If it's a guy that, Kevin Durant example, we don't know how long he'll be there, or if the guy truly wants to play here, I don't think you waste that depth. I still think we're a young enough team and we can trust our development. I don't think you always have to overrush things, especially with how Pascal's contract is set up.
You don't have to rush things. Okay, yeah, fair. All right. Anybody else on the stage want to comment on the Pacers taking the 2-0 series lead over the Cavaliers?
Generational sell job by the Cavaliers down the stretch. I mean, like that was one of the and also it's what's up with teams just falling apart in the last 2 minutes against them?
Oh yeah,
like what was that like? It's like something in the water. Like what? Like
that Aaron Neesmith shit. That was a crazy lane volley,
bro. The last 2 minutes, the last 2 minutes of games is like it's like people forget how to play basketball against them. It's happened with Milwaukee too. Like
we all execute people down the stretch, brother.
Like the most inopportune turnovers, like the ball goes through Gary Trent's hands. Nembhard easily steals it on the inbound. Like, bro, like I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's just like it's just been really crazy to watch. And also I don't think you have to rush development with Carlisle, bro. I think Carlisle understands team basketball. That's how he won his one championship. He had obviously Dirk, but they had a bunch of really good role players. And when everything was clicking, that's when they won a championship. If you look back to when they won a championship in Dallas, their championship run included guys who were looked at as washed up, hitting a bunch of shots and really like just kind of willing them down the stretch. And then they used depth to really beat Miami. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously obviously they had Dirk. So Dirk in the fourth quarter of those games was really good. But like ancillary players, this is the Carlisle sauce is what he does. And he's used to playing 9-10 players. He's used to playing a deep team and not necessarily having the most talented group of players to win with. So it's just I think that's become the most underrated part here in the whole thing is that Carlisle's a championship winning coach, but somehow in the fray of like coaches that we look at or respect, he's never mentioned. You know what I mean? He's a championship winning coach. Though there aren't that many of them in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else? D-Mac, Shaggy?
Shout out my boy D Mitch. I can't really speak to the game. I was doing a 2K draft, but I seen it. But shout out D Mitch, man. If I'm him, I'm up out of here. All them niggas on that team is pussy, bro. Straight up. I mean, we just seen this man last playoffs go to war, playing with an injury he should not have been playing on. One leg, one knee, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we got these guys missing games for toe injuries, thumb injuries. What's the other one? Like
ankle.
Is okay, I can understand ankle, but toe and thumb? Is God serious, bro?
Well, you can't understand an ankle without not understanding the toe.
Yeah, I can understand the ankle, but the toe, come on, bro.
Well, you know how hard it is to play basketball on a toe injury, probably.
Man, I got all kind of drugs and medications for these guys, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. I'm niggas soft, man. I'm getting up out of there, man. This man was out there on one leg last year, bro. Like these guys.
Nah, that is crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Like, come on, bro. Like, nah, I'm cool on the Cavs, bro.
He gave everything he could too. No funny.
Yeah,
he did. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
I'm cool.
Also,
So
I just want to throw out one thing. We also have to give Haliburton respect from a one-on-one standpoint. I would listen when in ISO. I think he's been the best player in the playoffs. He played when he got Giannis on the switch to win the game. Took him straight to the rack. Got the switch last night and barbecue chicken. Whoever the fuck was in front of him, yeah. I'm not a huge Haliburton fan. I've actually openly hated on him. That shit was crazy. In isolation, or when he gets any sort of big to switch on them, they're barbecue chicken, dog. They have no chance.
Yeah, they the bigs.
Listen,
or we give it to Miles in the post up.
Took
And that's
Giannis
another
straight
wrinkle
to the
for
rack. Straight to the rack for the money, bro.
Nah, shout out Holly. I ain't gonna lie, he definitely balling. They can't hate. Definitely balling.
Oh, funny.
Yeah,
I respect Holly.
yeah.
Oh, shout out Miles.
He corny. He corny, but he balling though.
I was going to say, shout out Miles Turner too. A super underrated game last night.
Yeah.
In 23-8 in the rim protection with the Bucks too. You guys shouted out both the guys. I mean, I thought that Mitch was going to have a great scoring night. I took him for 35 in that cash, but to what Sosa said, it just at a certain point you can't carry the load all by yourself, and ultimately they just didn't get enough. Specifically from what's buddy's name? Why his name?
Ty Jerome.
Ty Jerome. Thank you. And you know, it is what it is, and I think that you got to give the Pacers a lot of credit for what Tia said. The fact that they have built this team from a depth purpose, standpoint to be able to be effective in these moments is key. And again, something that I've harped on really to start the playoffs, that Tyrese Haliburton as the guy that controls everything on offense in a half-court setting, and his emphasis on making sure to take care of the ball on a consistent basis is massive. Another night where he has the ball on a consistent basis and you get 0 turnovers. And people would say, oh, it's only 19, it's only, 4 assists. But when you have a point guard that takes care of the ball to that level, that means your possessions are treated with care. And that's gold as far as the playoffs are concerned. And so the fact that he brings that skill set, and obviously that they have the guys around him, they've gotten, the contribution from guys like Nembhard and Neesmith, obviously adding Siakam a little bit for that veteran presence. I mean, it's worked very well for what the Pacers are doing. And so at this point, obviously Carlisle knows how to put these guys in the right, situation to get the job done. So back to them, it seems like I'm going to certainly agree with you, Ev, on the standpoint of I don't think the Cavs will come back in this series. They've had these injuries at the wrong time. They unfortunately got blitzed in game 1. It does not appear like they're going to be able to recover from this, because going down 2 games to 0, when you're going on the road here, to your point, I think that they do leave Indiana, if they do leave Indiana, in a 3-1 series hole, and I don't think they recover from that. So it's just one of those things. The Cavs obviously had a great regular season. We've seen this with other teams before, and I'm not even saying necessarily that the Cavs are like these teams that we've seen in the past. They just unfortunately seem to have had these injuries at the wrong time, in addition to their own issues that the Pacers are exploiting. So got to give them a lot of credit from that standpoint, Indiana. And, obviously a lot of people last year saw the Indiana Eastern Conference Finals thing and like, we don't want to do that again. It's a fluke, et cetera, et cetera. Come back next season, win 50 games. Look like this in the playoffs, are in a companion position to go out and go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Can't say it's a fluke if it happened back-to-back years. So you got to tip your cap to them.
DMAC, more context. We won 50 games after starting off 11-14.
Yeah.
Well said, DMAC. Well said, bro. I agree with everything that you just said. Back-to-back years, Eastern Conference Finals, potentially. And I do want to say this. I would love for the Cavs to even us out at 2 apiece. I do want this series to be interesting. I don't want this series to be 3-1 headed back to Cleveland. I hope I'm wrong. Right, I hope I'm wrong, because I want this to go eventually go 7. I want this to be a hell of a game 7 series, and hopefully that Mobley and Garland and company and Hunter can get back on the court for that game 3 or even game 4. But I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong. If not, Pacers, well deserved, great season, and I do think that they will get Boston if Boston wins that series. I just don't want to pencil Boston, and obviously Boston's my pick, but they lost game 1. And if they lose game 2, same situation. I think we're going to need to be having some conversations. If they lose game 2 tonight, I'm sorry, we're going to need to have some conversations. So, but if I had to go with what I expect, though, Pacers and Boston should be a fun series. And I think some games will be close, and I think it'll be a good series, offensively and defensively for both teams. So, that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Trying to debate if there's a reason for me to go to playback today. But before even thinking about that, Ted, you got anything on this Cavs and Patriots game before we move to the Warriors and Wolves?
Nah, bro. I'm with Shaggy though, for sure. Them niggas some hoes. Let D-Mitch down, bro. I'm getting the hell out of there.
I mean, I feel like the biggest guy to blame is
Good win Pacers though, for sure. Haliburton did what he did. Credit to him. I don't really, y'all know I don't really rock with him, but he that's cold-blooded shit. That's killer shit right there. So shout out to him. But the way that they sold, oh nah, I'm getting the hell out of there for sure.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. 60-win team. About to be out in the first round, bro.
second.
I feel bad for him. Second round, yeah, I feel bad for him, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I just blame Ty Jerome for that shit, bro. He scored 10 points. They probably win this game.
I mean, yeah, you told the whole goddamn playback to bet on himself.
Nigga, he was good before that, brother. I also told him to bet on Benedict Mathurin. Did he tell that?
How much Benedict again with?
More than 10.
Shout out Ben, bro.
All right. Last game. Oh, that's my better. Mathurin had 19. I think I just said something on Mathurin. Oop, I did not mean to take that.
Yeah, he did.
Last game from yesterday. Warriors and Wolves. And I'm gonna see if Jordan Wilson will come through to playback. We'll see. But Warriors and Wolves. Jordan Wilson's funny though. I have been seeing some of his tweets this morning. Afternoon now. Funny guy, bro.
You got a bone to pick with that nigga.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Super duper unfortunate news, man. Super duper unfortunate news when it comes to Stephen Curry and his hamstring injury yesterday. Super duper unfortunate. He looked like he was off to a great start in yesterday's game. Like I said earlier today, I think he had 13 points in 13 minutes. 13 points in 13 minutes, and it looked like he was off to a great start. Both teams started off slow, I want to say, from offensive perspective in this game, but the Warriors stormed in that second quarter, where things picked up and they outscored the Wolves 26-11. I think the Wolves, not saying used to it, but I do think they'll be better game 2 on down. Well, obviously Curry's out too, but I think that the Warriors defense a little bit shifted their offense for how they attacked or how comfortable they were getting to spots and things of that nature versus what they seen in LA or against LA. And that's for obvious reasons when it comes to the personnel standpoint. But the Warriors, Draymond Green, bro. I mean, really that first half, and I want to say first half because it's really the second quarter, but I already said both teams started off slow in that first quarter. The game really bust open in the second quarter when the Warriors outscored the Wolves 26-11, and all that was because of Draymond. Literally, 1,000% because of Draymond. This man knocked down 4 threes in that quarter alone, and was 5 for 6 from the field. So he had 14 points in that quarter. Obviously, Curry had a couple of buckets before he went out, but that's what really changed the game. And then when you get down to the third and the fourth, and it looks like Minnesota can go on a run, you then got the answers from Buddy Hield. You got the answers from Jimmy Butler. You even had a couple of buckets from freaking Pat Spencer, or even that Gary Payton corner 3. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what the game came down to. When the Warriors role players step up, and it's not even just all of them. It's really just 1 or 2. They just be needing 1 or 2 of the 3. I'm going to just say 3 names. 2 out of the 4. It's 4 names, I would say. And that's Moody, Pods, Buddy, and GP2. If they get a good offensive game from at least 2 out of those 4 guys, or the 2 out of that 4 is knocking down shots, they're good to go. And last night, they got 2 out of the 4 last night, and that was Buddy Hield and GP2. So that's what led to them being able to win that game. I think the team defense from an overall standpoint was good last night. They were on a string. They were moving. I noticed every time Ant got the ball on a wing or whatever the case may be, Draymond shared it over so quickly, try to make Ant think to or not be able to get to his spot as easily as he was in LA. Now, obviously, Ant missed some gimmies in yesterday's game. A couple of layups, put back layup, some threes, whatever the case may be. It happens. So I think that's pretty much what it came down to. Ant. I think Ant started the game off like over 8 or over 9. A lot of that really wasn't to defense. Some of it was, obviously, but some of them were just him missing layups or not finishing at the rim. Where at this moment in his career, he's not one of the better finishers at the rim anyway. So I don't just want to say, oh, he was missing is what it is. There's just something that he's just not that good at the moment. So overall, it was a good game from Jimmy, good game from Dre, good game from Buddy. Buddy and Jimmy did not shoot the ball well, but if you watch the game without looking at their box scores and their field goal attempts, you know they had good basketball games. Especially Jimmy. 20, 11, and 8. He was crashing. He's been rebounding pretty well for the Minnesota Timberwolves, literally this whole entire playoffs, to be honest. So really, shout out to Jimmy and his effort that he showed on that end. And as far as the Wolves side of things, I mean, I forgot what the stat said. I lost it, but they said it to them in the presser. I lost it, bro. They knocked down 5 threes last night, though. They're not winning no games like that. I know they beat the Lakers knocking down 7 threes, but they're not beating. As you go further into the playoffs, you play tougher and or better teams, and I don't think they'll be able to beat the Warriors with knocking down that many threes and missing that many. Personally, so obviously I expect them to come back better. It's a bummer that Curry's expected to probably most likely miss Thursday's game, maybe even Saturday. If it's me, I would try to bring Curry back for that game 4, and I would just have to hope that Jimmy and Dre and company can give us one out of the next 2. I think that's what Warriors fans are hoping for. And if you do get one out of the next 2, maybe you can push Curry return back even further. But obviously, if you go down 1-2 or you're down 2-1, same thing. You have to ought hope that Curry can return for that game 4. But the hamstring is something to play with, bro. Hamstring injury not something to play with, especially for a guy like Stephen Curry who's nonstop running and moving around the court. So.
He's
also
also 37.
We've seen the
years
last
old.
of Steph Curry this year, bro. He's not playing
exactly.
no more.
Yeah, exactly. Also the age thing, too.
Bro, I think he plays, bro.
He's not playing no more, bro.
I just announced it that they're bracing for a multi-game. There was just a report that literally dropped 2 minutes ago. Said the Warriors are bracing themselves for to be a multi-game absence. That's from Brett Siegel. I don't know who the fuck that is, but he's NBA reporter.
I think he missed tomorrow and Saturday. I think he could push for Monday though.
He's not playing no more, bro.
He's not playing the rest of this series, brother. I don't know listen, that man immediately asked for a sub and it was over with. He ain't coming back, bro. He ain't coming back.
I feel like he's gonna force himself to play if the series still close. If them niggas not up like 3-1 or whatever, I think he'll force himself to come. Like,
bro,
no, like
nigga,
it's all dependent because if it's grade 1, they're gonna hit him with the comfortability, and I think he's a competitor. So like, unless they protect him from himself, I think he'll probably try to play. So it might be a situation where they do protect him from himself. You know, you're 37. This roster is the roster. We still have next year because I ain't gonna lie. If he tears this shit, he might retire.
Nah. That whole next year thing ain't even a thought process right now. They are where they are right now. They trying to win the shit. I'm not with that thought process at all. If he, you know what I mean, it's I think it's kind of like a situation with KD with his calf. Like if he wants to play, he's gonna play. If Steph says, listen, I'm good enough to go out there, I'm gonna play, he'll play. I don't think they can really. I don't think they can tell a 37-year-old Steph Curry, "Hey man, protect your body." Like I don't think he will really give a fuck.
Do we know if it's a grade 1 or grade 2 yet?
That's what SOS is saying in the
I didn't see no grade.
I didn't see anything.
A grade never got put. It was they just know it was a strain, but they don't know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like throwing out these dates is cool now, but we don't know shit if we don't know the grade of that strain. Like it could be a week, it could be a few days, it could be multiple weeks. We don't know shit, bro.
And the sad part is he was really hooping though before that injury. Though. That fucking 3 he hit, was it J Mac guarding him, that deep one, the little ISO? Was that the kill?
They about to do the Lord thing with him. His performance yesterday, he would have averaged 45.
Well, I'm not saying all that, my nigga. Don't push the finger.
But he did get off to a good start.
He got up to a good start in the Rocket series. And it was mid after that.
Yeah, he's done, bro. Shout out to Steph, man.
Also, last night, that zone, I don't even like. Have y'all rewatched to see exactly what they was running defensively against Minnesota?
Bro, why y'all keep talking about he was able to walk? You can walk off the court with a grade 2, grade 3 hamstring injury.
People walk off the court with a torn ACL.
You can walk off with a torn Achilles.
You can jog off with a torn ACL, nigga. What the fuck? Like, he was walking. Okay.
Anybody else want to comment too, or y'all pretty much want to leave it at the curve?
To that zone portion, they kept shading over it, and I thought Jimmy did a good job of tagging Rudy. But at the same time, with that shit, it's like Rudy's really just ass to a certain extent, Sosa. Because like if he was competent, like to me as like catching a lob, You cannot employ that zone. But like he does not
But
use
they
his
didn't even.
size.
The problem is they never even looked at throwing the ball. And then also another thing that is an issue is if Rudy Gobert is going to be on the floor, you cannot get beaten on the offensive boards. Kevon Looney cannot get in the game and get 4 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter when you're making your first offensive run of the fucking game. Like Minnesota goes on a run, cuts the lead to 9. They come down and bro, he got offensive rebounds on 4 straight missed shots.
Huh? Didn't Pat Spencer grab some too? A couple offensive boards as well.
What'd you say, Jordan?
Oh no, I was just asking as I scroll to the box score. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like you can't give up 4, like I said, 4 offensive rebounds to like, and again, it was like a couple of times they didn't even score, but it's like you just kill the rhythm on offense.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Look at Mike Conley's stat line, bro. They gotta get his shit up. It's
SOS,
over.
I'm not
Stop
saying
doing it.
Bro, he's terrible, bro.
I'm not
why do
saying
they
he's not
keep
a great
doing
offensive
this?
rebounder. I'm saying,
Bro, he have that guard, you know, Jordan.
He's not doing that card. He's not providing anything that guards provide.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like
he's probably their best off-ball defender, though.
Bro, it's over.
No way.
It's over.
Yeah,
I mean,
Conley looked cooked last night. I can't lie. He looked cooked last night. But also, like, we used the term outlier. Like, is it possible? Like, say I can't even say this because the last game against the Lakers, they couldn't throw a rock into the ocean from the beach.
Where did we shoot that game? Because we also had guys that just didn't.
They shot what 7 for 47 from 3 and won Game 5, right?
Bro,
yeah, people gonna keep pointing to that.
That's crazy.
But they weren't down. They weren't down 15 points while doing that though.
That's fair. I'm not.
They also
I'm
weren't
not
down 3-1 in the series.
Yeah, bro. And like I said, it's just I would like to think that that's just an outlier, but then
And
it kind of carried over from the game before.
That same game, the Lakers shot 11 for 37. So it wasn't as bad as the Wolves, but we didn't shoot well in that game either, like at all. We shot pretty bad. Keep pointing to that game.
Yeah, last night was it, bro? They had 31 points at halftime. 31 points in a half in 2025 is egregious. And then
and shot 17 threes, bro.
And they're this is a top 5 3-point shooting team in the NBA this season, which makes it even crazier.
They should have got downhill, especially against that 1-3-1, a lot more. Especially when I point to like Julius Randle catching the ball in the corner, like pump faking and taking another 3. Yeah, like that is terrible, and that's not his game. And it's okay in moments to take a shot like that, but you got to get downhill, Julius. Like you are literally 6'9", 6'8", can get downhill, can switch on the pivot, can fade over somebody smaller, or go directly through people's chest. You have to be the guy to attack that zone to the extent.
But
especially
I mean,
when Anthony's on the court.
Yeah, him too, but it ain't just him. It's him, it's Ant, is J-Mac, is Dante. Bruh, like I get it. The zone, it was a good zone because they had the personnel to run it. But you're not even making the team, you're not even making the Warriors work if one man drives and you kick out and it's automatically a 3. Like they have the ability to, if that is not working, they all have the ability to get the ball and drive and make a play, drive or kick again.
But hold on. Isn't it? Wouldn't you agree though that like by just knowing the game, the goal, like you shoot yourself out the zone. You're getting wide open looks and bricking. That was the difference. They
were open. They were, and I was telling them that last. I'm like, bro, bro, these shots, like I get it, like. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But these shots are open. The looks are there. They're not. They don't look flustered. They don't look confused. These are, like you said. So these are simple. The zone, one pass, one man drives, and another man when he passes, it's an automatic shot. But you want to take it because you are fucking open. You are an NBA player. You are you may not be a shooter, but you have the ability to knock down a shot. Them shots have to fall. You have to finish the play. They were getting what they wanted to get. They didn't look confused. They didn't look like the shit just couldn't work. These are open shots, but mind you too, Sosa, these are 35, 36 footers. Like nigga.
Yeah, niggas taking hash threes all night.
Like what? Like nigga, at least if you're gonna shoot the 3, my nigga, at least be at the line. At least like at least bro, 35, 36 footers on open threes off driving kicks are that's unacceptable, bro. Like it's just unacceptable.
But
And
to
then
be fair, oh, go ahead.
and another problem that I have that me and T was talking about too last night. They had multiple opportunities where Warriors were shooting the ball, missing, and they on transition breaks. And these niggas are still they're pulling out of the break to shoot a three. What the fuck are y'all doing? Get to the basket. And then when we seen in the second half, when they finally realized that, oh, our advantage is at the fucking rim, what happened, T? They came back. Less threes.
But
More
Tez,
twos.
that goes to my point about the zone aspect of it, Tez, because like I get like you do want to like shoot out a zone, but at the same time, that's not the only way you can attack the zone. If anything, that's settling kind of into what the Warriors prefer you to do. It's taking 30-foot pass threes with J-Mac. Good enough contest to the corner.
But that's part of
with a Nikhil three.
Listen. I don't disagree with everything y'all are saying. I'm just saying, like, they got the shots they wanted, they just didn't fall. You have to look at it as somewhat an outlier. And then also, we got to give Buddy Hield credit. I don't want to do it, but I have to. I mean, he hit
his defense been good, bro.
And he hit huge shots. I mean,
he had big ass buckets, bro.
Huge shots. They go on every time Minnesota went on a run. Buddy hit a big three to stop it, and it happened twice in the fourth quarter, or once in the fourth quarter, twice in the second half, where it was just like they finally look like they're cutting the lead to something. Okay, they cut it to 11. He hits a three, they go back up 14. Okay, they're making a run. He hits another three, they go back up 12. You know what I'm saying? It's and also you could just see it like they ran out of possessions because they allowed Golden State to get that far in front. Because Golden State couldn't hit a shot, bro. In the fourth, to start the fourth, they couldn't hit anything at all. I mean, it was brick after brick after brick. But the problem was this motherfucker Looney gave them 4 extra possessions, even if they didn't score, that fucked off that comeback attempt at the end of the game.
Shit, Pat Spencer was out there grabbing offensive rebounds, gang. Like they it's weird.
Bro, he was taking that shot out of Rudy hands.
I mean,
bro.
y'all saw what Finch said after the game.
Wow, what did he say? I didn't.
He kind of called out Ant a little bit. I don't want to say it was like a full like him. I don't think it was that crazy, but he was like, you're the best player. You got to set the tone. And then if you actually
missing shots,
bad energy.
And then when you saw it kind of was weird because they asked Ant about it, and Ant kind of was like, he kind of like just brushed off the question. He's like, yeah, I don't have nothing to say. Or, he's kind of completely.
I think because Finch had already, when they walked back to I think probably him and Finch had already had a conversation before the post game presser, and he probably already fucking knew. And him too. They all just looked a step behind, bro. Like the Warriors clearly, like credit to the Warriors, they had a different type of energy and a different type of approach to the game.
So you telling me that can happen in a playoff game? Says interesting.
I want to ask.
Shout out.
You didn't like. We all know many. That approach, the level of intensity, the energy that they had last night. That's not them, and we all know that. They were a step, not even fucking like T said to the rebounds, 50-50 balls, my nigga.
Right. They lost every effort play.
Transition plays. They were a step behind on every facet of the game.
It was just the second.
I
don't agree with that though. I don't agree. Listen, they look shitty. It looked like they conquered it because in the first quarter, they end the first quarter up 2 points. They looked like ass. They weathered all that. And then in the second quarter, these motherfuckers forgot how to play basketball.
Nah, I disagree, Sosa. I think they came out with
They came back. Their fourth quarter approach was good.
Yeah, like Tez, nobody lost the game.
That's all I'm saying. One part of the second quarter cost them the game.
I was going to build off that point, Tez. It kind of flipped. Like it felt like Minnie was the team that came off the game 7. It came out flat, no energy, no effort. And on the Golden State side, like regardless of how to me that first quarter ended, it ended in a certain way score wise, but that's not how to me the effort and the dictation of that game went. Like I felt like the Golden State dictated that game, and even in the first quarter. And I
That was
think
going to be
I
my
genuinely think many came out slow. Like they looked like they were the team who just played a 7-game series.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. What do you guys attribute that to? Because to what he's getting at, as far as the Warriors are the team that came off the 7-game series, but they started it hot. Is it a rest versus rest thing? Do you guys think it's a veteran aspect of it? But
Veteran
I don't even buy
aspect.
that part of it.
They
I don't know what
they
it is.
played more games, but I think many, as far as the series and like what it takes out of you mentally, like our team is flawed, but I don't think it's as mentally taxing to face us, the Rockets versus
They
facing
listen.
the
They
fucking
just
Lakers.
they
To
just
be honest,
missed, bro. Like I can't really. That's all I attribute it to. Like I know y'all are saying like no matter how the first quarter ended, but bro, if you told me that Minnesota's bench was going to come in the game and single-handedly get smoked 17-2 off the dribble, I would not believe you. Like the second quarter, they just like it was like in 2K when somebody switched to zone and you don't know what you're doing and the game just glitches out. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it looked like, bro. Like they couldn't get a decent shot, and then they just missed everything. When they got wide open shots, they just missed them. I don't. That's all. Like I don't want to like over analyze what I saw. I just want to, if you take it as one game in a vacuum, and then the next game, the best player on one team is not going to be available. So that even changes how you even view how they approach next game.
It looked like a regular season mini game when they like come out low energy, low effort. It looked like a regular season mini game to a bad team, like an under 500 team. That's literally how they played to all the regular season. When they seen the team that they didn't think was as good as them, and they come out all flat, low energy. That's how they played that game. They come back and off. Like they literally played that like a mini regular season against a sub 500 team.
Back. And they did that in the regular. And to that point, I agree, because in the regular season they had a bunch of games where they would be shitty in the first half, and then like they'll tighten up in the second half, go win the game. Third, fourth quarter, go win the game. They just happen to be down 20-5 this time.
But you can't do that in the playoffs versus a team that has guys.
Especially not on your home floor. That's what makes it worse. It's like, you know what I mean? On your home floor is a little bit more embarrassing.
There is something to be said for we are past the F around portion of the playoffs where you can do that in the first round and get away with it. You can't do that in the second round. The Celtics got
you
punished
can't do
for
that
it.
in the first round and get away with it.
Well, to an extent, depends on who you're playing against. I think the Cavs and Celtics get away with that in the first round. They haven't gotten away with it in the second round. Minnesota can't get away with it in this round.
I don't think the Cavs and Celtics or specifically the Celtics. Celtics just do that anytime, any place. Like Celtics do that any round normally.
I didn't see a lot of that for them last.
Yeah, I saw more so with the Cavs maybe, but they didn't. They also blew them like they.
Yeah, they destroyed the Heat.
Yeah, they just beat them up.
But I do think that there's an aspect of it where it's different from the first round, and maybe these teams are maybe not adjusting as they should.
mean, like, look, I saw this from the Lakers in Game 3 in 2023 when they were down 2-0 and they had the home game. They came out with that kind of like it just happens. Like I think it happens regardless. I think you typically don't see it in the finals. That's me. But outside of that, I think this shit happens from time to time. Like I don't think teams intend to come out with that kind of energy, but sometimes you just don't have it. And I think it just happens from time to time.
Yeah, but I don't know what the excuse is.
Like I said, I agree. I agree.
I don't know what the reason is for them to not have it. There's no reason why they should have came out and looked like that to start.
Inexplicable. I think it's unacceptable, but it's also inexplicable. I think it's just
that shit. That's like I said. I agree with T, bro. We watched a lot of them shits and played like this. Looked like a regular season. This looked like a regular season mini game where they played a team that they know they can go in there and beat. They played. They underestimated and went out there and did exactly what the fuck they did all year. And two worst teams, not a team like the Warriors, worst teams. The fucking the
Utah
C team,
Jazz,
the C team Pacers, the fucking Utah Jet. Like this looked like one of them games. And then I was telling, and me and T was in here and the playback agreeing, bro. I promise you, I've seen this game 25 times out the year, 30 times out the year. They're gonna come back. I know they're gonna come back, but it's just to make it look good to get you back entertained with the fucking game. I promise you they won't win this game. I promise you. And that's exactly what they did. They cut it down to 8-9 points, and niggas just riled back in, watch the game, and I'm like, bruh, y'all just don't know, bruh. This shit is over. Trust me, this shit is
Taz,
over.
that's why we kept saying this shit was over because we've watched them play like this all season when they do the fake comeback shit. Like, especially when that shit don't start in the third, that shit really started in the fourth. Ted, we've seen this shit all year.
But in the regular season, they would come back and win the game. That's the
No, they
difference.
Bruh, no,
literally
they
the reason they
wouldn't,
were
bruh. No,
they
they
literally are a
wouldn't, bruh.
terrible clutch team. Like
They came
like
back
through
and
the
won
regular
they
Sosa
came
through
back
the
and won a
regular
couple
season,
of
they're
them.
one of the worst clutch team, and that's the reason they weren't a top 6 seed or top 5 seed. It's literally clutch games. Is what sold them for being a top 5
So
to 4 seed.
you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me the two guys they're traded for being hurt didn't play a major part in them? Remember when people were doing all that, Gawk 3000 about it being the worst trade of all time, only for the Knicks to only end up with 2 more wins than the Timberwolves? We don't hear.
I mean,
we don't
yeah,
hear-
I think people
we
were
don't
wrong
hear
about
anybody
that trade.
saying that stupid shit anymore, huh?
But to the clutch games though,
Worst
Sosa,
trade of
you
all
could
time. Yeah, bet.
you could check this. You could check the stats. That's literally what sold them for being like a 55-win team. Is literally clutch games, and some of those are against literally bottom 500 teams.
I think to me, when I look back on them, it's gonna be more so them not having all their pieces and them taking a long time to gel because they didn't have all those pieces. I think that's what we're seeing with Minnesota. I'm not taking anything into this game. I think, I'm not taking anything from this first game. You know what I mean? In my opinion. It's just one game.
Byron says, so with this being said, would his mindset play a part in him advancing? He talking about the mindset that Mini had last night.
I
What was the
mean, no
question?
Steph.
I just don't think we should overreact. I just don't think we should overreact.
Bro, they shot 18 threes in the first half and made 0. What's the question though?
Yeah, there's this hunger amongst like sports fans to overreact to the nines after one game. Like we could doing that with any of the games we just saw. Listen, all the road teams won game 1, all of them. Right? Is the sky falling? No, just win the next game and we'll be having the complete adverse conversation about game 1 that we did in game 2. Just win game 2 on your home floor. Why do you think both games tonight are double-digit spreads? Because the world knows that OKC and Boston are about to come out there with a different level of urgency and energy because they lost game 1. And then when you look back on the way they lost, both lost the game 1s, it was Boston sold and so did OKC. You know what I mean? I can't. How are you supposed to how can you gauge anything after watching those 2 games?
Bro, y'all know it's the transitioning from when she hit the link or whatever like that. So I couldn't hear some stuff y'all probably was saying. But last thing I heard Ted say was that, he was like they missed 18 threes or whatever like that. Oh, they was 0 for 18. But this whole time it's been about mindset. Which one is it?
It's a combination of both.
So
it started from the first quarter. Like, I don't know if you was in the playback last night. I said this shit started from the first quarter when they went out there and didn't take advantage of the Warriors' disadvantages by when the Warriors did shift to the zone. Mm-hmm. They still just shot threes. Like, they continued to do what they was doing before the Warriors even adjusted their defense. And they continued to do it throughout the whole first half. With the combination of, like I also was saying last night, off the jump ball, you didn't see that type of intensity or energy from the jump. And I said that all last night from jump ball. Not even just the first quarter, second quarter, the whole. They didn't really look like a different team until the fourth quarter.
Hold on, I was glitching. What was the last thing you said?
What did you hear?
I heard everything, bro. But I just didn't hear the last part.
Oh yeah, I said they didn't. To me, they didn't really look like a different team, far as attacking and from an intensity and energy standpoint. They didn't really look like that until the fourth quarter. But to Jordan, at that point, but you're down, you're fighting from 20 points, so it's like it's too late. Like you played the way that you know that you could play for one quarter, but when you turned it around, you were already down 20 points.
And you know what I blame it on? What another thing I blame on? I don't think the assistants did their fucking job to start the second quarter. They did not get the fucking pictures of what Golden State was running, and they had no answers for that until the second half. They had no answer for what Golden State did defensively until the second half. It also doesn't help when your best player doesn't make a jump shot till the fourth quarter. Ant didn't hit a jump shot till 4 minutes left in the game.
So I guess the answer is no. Y'all don't think them having that mindset last night will affect them from advancing?
I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little bit of a case study. I agree with Sosa. I don't want to overreact and say that it's going to affect them, but it's going to be a case study, and I think it starts obviously with tonight as well, because we got to see how OKC and Boston respond to this too. Maybe it is a rust factor as far as that is concerned, and we see a different level of intensity for these guys coming out. And Minnesota just took the first 3 quarters to adjust to what the Warriors were coming off of as far as their level of care. I won't even say care, but the level of intensity and being able to play at that playoff level. So I for me personally, I would just say I'm not trying to overreact, and I think it's going to be a case study to see how these guys come out in game 2. And obviously, like, the Cavs would be to be like, oh, well, the Cavs came out and it didn't end up working out for them. But I think that's obviously we have the extenuating circumstances of the injuries.
Like, for example, like I have a question for you, Byron. You watch game 1. You watch game 1 with OKC, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Like, there's not very much that a coach can say to the team after that game. Daigneault had to walk into that locker room and say, "This one's on me," because the game was lost because of him. Listen, analytics is what he leaned on, right? We're gonna foul, and we're gonna play the foul game with the 3-point with the 3-point attempt, right? Like that. There's nothing else he can really say. I mean, Chet went to the line and bricked 2 free throws, but he can't go to the locker room and be like, "Yo, this is on you."
Yeah, this is on you for missing the free throws.
Yeah, he can't do that because they're only in that situation because he decided he wanted to foul 3 times. And also, you got to give Denver credit. They didn't miss none of the fucking free throws. They made them all.
Right.
So that's my thing. It's like, if we're going to, like, how do you judge these game to game? Because when you watch that Oklahoma City game, we're always, I think we as fans, or we as like people that analyze the game and watch it, we want someone to blame. And it's like, bro, the only person you could blame for that one is Daigneault. Daigneault fouled 3 times inside 20 seconds, and they hit all the free throws. Then your player gets fouled, walks down the court, and bricks both of them. And also, he bricks the second one so perfectly that he gave the other team a transition 3-pointer. It's like some of the most unthinkable shit to even see. So it's like, you can't overreact over that game, and you just, hey, it didn't go that way. You come out and you finish the job this time. You know, that's all I could think of. I think, like, we try, like someone said, we're not critical enough of Ant. Like, what is there to be critical of? He played like shit. They couldn't make a shot. We're gonna dwell on it for the next week. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's saying that because of the Tatum stuff, but yeah, Ant had a terrible game.
Okay. Oh, and how did he do when he got switched on to?
He also had a terrible
guards
game.
in clutch time when he had Jalen Brunson in front of him. Oh, he shot 30-foot threes. Oh, okay.
They both had bad game ones, to say the least. Not as bad as Jaylen Brown though.
Who's betting Derek White's 3-pointers with me tonight? Anybody? No.
Extras pissed me off not getting that last.
What's the line after Derek White?
I don't even give a fuck. He shot 16 of them in the last game. Whatever the number is, we got to bet it, right? He shot 16 threes, and like, just by volume, you'd have to bet that.
It's probably 4.5, to be honest, or 5. Yeah, it's fair.
4.5.
Bro, he shot 16 threes. That's like 4.5 is like Steph Curry.
You say okay. I didn't hear you say he shot 16. Okay.
He was 5 for 16 in game 1 from 3. I think combined they were like 9 for 41 between him and the Tatum and Brown, or something close to that. 10 for 41 or something crazy like that, bro. Where it was like, yeah, they shot like 40 combined between the 3 of them. They only made.
I believe 3.5 is his lineup plus money for Derek White.
I don't see how you can't bet that. I don't see how you don't bet it after he puts up 16 attempts. Also, I think that's another issue with Brown and Tatum. I think Brown's fucked up. I don't think he's healthy. I think you can kind of see it. And them them playing into what the other team wants you to do, which is shoot threes. Like, I know Boston likes to shoot threes, but if you go watch some of the tape of the last game, they literally had nobody inside the paint at all, and Boston elected to shoot threes when they could have just dribbled straight to the rim if they felt like it. They just didn't.
All right, Bethany, welcome to the stage. You want to comment on the Warriors and Wolves game last night?
Oh, hello guys. Can you hear me, Everald?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
It was a great game last night. I think defense won us the game for sure. Just all of our guys playing defense last night was just a great sight to see. Steve Kerr did a great adjustment, leaning more so towards defense once Steph went out. So shout out to him. Shout out to Draymond. Shout out to Buddy. Shout out to just overall the whole entire team contributing to keep the lead that we had once Steph went down afloat. Just maintaining that because that helped us a lot. I think they got the lead cut down to 9, but Buddy and Jimmy made some crucial big shots to keep the momentum going back to, just keeping it afloat to sustain a good lead that Timberwolves tried to come back from, but they couldn't. Shout out to Looney. I knew this was going to be a big Looney series, but overall, I thought this was going to be a team win series. I didn't think that we would have a third option or we would have like a specific third person or third guy every single night to be consistent. I think that we would need contribution from everybody to pull out in this series. And I think that that's what we started. We got off to a great start last game with that. Hopefully we can maintain the momentum. But I think overall, great game. I think that our vets did a lot. Our young guys, I think our young guys are the ones where I'm kind of concerned. Pods, Moody, Kuminga. I think Kuminga's going to get more play in this series. He was great defensive wise. And if Steve can find the consistency with his minutes, I think he'll contribute well offensively in this series, attacking the rim, cutting like he was doing, knocking down those open threes that he hit last night. But Moody has to join in. I think Paz has to join in. And then overall, just better playmaking. Once Jimmy is not on the floor, or if he is on the floor, just let the ball run through him instead of allowing Pods to dribble the ball out or, trying to just play sloppy offense. But overall, with no Steph, it raises concerns, but I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to be very, very hopeful and just have a mindset of, that Jimmy's going to have to step up and he's going to have to take control of the team. Him and Draymond is going to have to do a lot of the carrying the load of offense and defense. So if they can continue to do that and we can continue to get crucial possession minutes from Buddy and then our young guys can contribute, then I think this will be a great, great series. I look for in game 2, Minnesota not shooting the ball well. I look for them to shoot the ball well next game. I think keying in on Ant gave the others the opportunity for wide open 3-point shots, which they missed. So I look forward to Minnesota making those 3-point shots, but our defense is really well. And being that we don't have a point of attack really in Wiggins anymore, we play a lot of team defense. So us covering the ground and us rotating and getting to the spot before the pass has been helping us when it comes to our defense, being that we don't have a specific team point of attack defender, and then Looney and Draymond and Jimmy in the paint, just defending the paint really well against Rudy Gobert. And I do look though for Ant to drive more. I think once Draymond was out and Looney, he got Looney and pick and rolls a lot, and GP2 and pick and rolls a lot. He was able to attack to the rim. So I look for him to do that more. I look for Julius Randle to be more aggressive than what he was in the first game. So those are the things I'm looking for in game 2. But overall, great defensive win. Shout out to Buddy. Shout out to Draymond. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Pat Spencer. Shout out to Steve for going 11 deep in a playoff series. And I know a lot of y'all talk about like how, he's not going to do this or he's not going to do that. But it's Steve. You never know what he's going to do, especially since Pod's last game didn't really have a great game playmaking and shooting wise. He dug to his third point guard, which is Pat Spencer, and got great minutes from him, who was able to push the pace and create for himself. So great team win last night.
Well said. You said a lot. You said a lot of good things. I definitely appreciate you coming up and getting your thoughts off. I do also remind the folks, y'all, every day will not be a playback day, and every day will not be a 3, 4, 5 hour show. I still do struggle when it comes to figuring out time to focus on the apparel side of things, to still figure out time for the TikTok side of things and things of that nature. So please be mindful. If I ever don't switch to playback, it's because I tell y'all for the past month that the show will be starting on YouTube, and I'm not rushing or geeking to switch to playback all the time. But yeah, you said a lot. Steve played a lot of guys last night, as you can see here in the box score. This wasn't even garbage time minutes. They do the real minutes for all these guys. He played 12 guys last night. Again, Santos was not garbage time. He played in the first half. Post was not garbage time. None of them was garbage time. And
I like what he was doing now.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Because he put Gwyn in. He said, yeah, he's bums. He's not getting back in this game.
And then put Kaminga in.
He also knows he's gonna have to find somebody that's gonna have to step up with Steph out. So he starts mixing and matching because he knew like them playing with a lead made it a lot easier to do it. And then he just started putting players out there to say, listen, we gonna need one of y'all's gonna have to come on or come along. Or we're going to have to match them bench-wise because who's going to start now? We think Kaminga moves in the start lineup?
I'll say Moody or GP2.
You said what? Sosa?
Who's going to start? Who do they start? Who's going to replace Steph in the start lineup?
No one Steve Kerr, bro. It might be a different person every day, bro.
It might be fucking Looney. They might
be a different person every time.
They might put Pods at the 1. Buddy at the 2, Jimmy at the 3, Dre at the 4, and Looney at the 5. Or he might continue to go small. So.
He might one of these games I can see him start Moody too.
He might start Kaminga. Who knows?
This could be a complete chess match, and it's also bodes well for Kerr because Kerr has always been able to insert wrinkles into series to fuck teams up. He did it against Boston in the finals. He's done it. You know what I mean? So like that's one thing. Yeah. I know people calls Kerr like an average coach or whatever, but like he's always done that. He's always found like little things to throw at teams to just kind of fuck them up.
I just saw it, so I just got the notification on my phone. Curry, grade 1 left hamstring strain. This is the first time he's ever strained a muscle, so he's never done this kind of rehab. So there's no timetable on his return yet. So we'll see. I don't see him missing the whole series though. So,
no, I think there was one time like this is different from Clay, but Clay strained his hamstring and he only missed 1 game. But Steph is 37, so they don't probably want to rush him back.
Y'all remember when Harden played with the hamstring for Brooklyn?
Yeah,
I don't want it to look like that. Like that was I don't want it to be out there looking like that though.
Yeah. I think it'll just depend on how they do without him and how the team is without him. Because if Jimmy can win you a game at home, then,
Yeah, I think us being able to win last night, I think that definitely helped us out a lot in the long run in terms of him trying to force coming back sooner than later.
Yeah, the Warriors just need to pray that they can win game 2 or 3. It's really just that simple.
And
just try to continue to buy time to where Curry can be able to return in game 6 and or 7, maybe potentially if it's a 3-3 situation. Not saying it's going to be that, but potentially if it's a 3-3 situation or something like that, or where they're down 2-3, he can play that game 6. I think that's good for him as well.
How confident are y'all in Jimmy being able to to win one of those games that you're talking about, F?
I know when it comes to situations like this, Jimmy's going to perform. Like even last night, Jimmy, like I said earlier today, Jimmy had a good game to me last night. I know you see the 7 for 20, but he had a good overall game. And I think the best thing about his game since since the playoffs started is how he's affecting the glass when it comes to rebounding. You guys got a gang rebound. Y'all starting a 6-7 guy at center. So y'all got a gang rebound. And Jimmy's been doing that in Houston. He had a big game winning rebound or game clinch rebound when Sengun missed that shot over Draymond. And then even last night, he had 7 offensive rebounds, 11 boards in general. So I think Jimmy can rise to the occasion. I also think he's healthy enough to do that as well. Like I'm over bringing up his his injury now because I think he's still been performing while dealing with it. So like he's good enough to go for me. I think Jimmy can potentially win you a game. It's really just going to come down to who else is going to make shots. You know, if I don't know if Buddy can continue to give you 4 or 5 threes or maybe even pods. I always say this, bro. I said this earlier today, and I'm gonna repeat it one more time. The Warriors' success when it comes down to winning another game with Curry in this series, even without Curry, you need 2 out of the 4 guys to step up from an offensive standpoint, knock down a shot. And that's Buddy, Pods, Moody, and GP2. Last night, you got 2 out of that 4. You're going to need 2 out of that 4 for the rest of the game, 2 or 3, maybe even 3 out of the 4, since Curry's not playing now. So really, that's what's going to come down to. But it's going to come down to them guys because I know what Jimmy and Draymond are going to do on a night-to-night basis. I'm not saying Dre going to hit 4 threes again, but offensively and defensively, you know what you're getting out of Draymond when it comes to the motion offense and his backdoor pass and things of that nature. So the IQ offensively and defensively. So I'm confident in Jimmy and Dre. It's really just the other guys outside of them because Jimmy just can't do it by himself.
Yeah, when Buddy's not dribbling and he's just catching and shooting or he's coming off the screen, I believe in him. When you got him dribbling out there, trying to create for himself, that's where everything goes left. But Pods is he's been disappointing me. Moody's been disappointing me. So those 2 guys really have to show up for sure.
Yep. So that's where I'm at with it. Barry, hopefully Jimmy can. I don't care. I picked the Wolves to win the series in 6 before the series, but this is a series where I'm just enjoying basketball. I really don't care who wins the series. All right, yeah, and hopefully he could come back by game 4. All right. I think that's everything. Unless you want to add on some things about the Warriors and Wolves series.
Did you guys already talk about from the Wolves' point of view, or I missed that part?
Yeah, Tez, Sosa, D-Mac, myself.
Would you guys just like summarize it in like 3 sentences?
Basically for them, it came down to the mentality Minnesota came into the game with and then missing shots. I think Tez said they started the first half off over 18 from 3. So even when they were getting out in transition, they still settled for threes. Some people feel like so really they came into that game like looked a step slower than Golden State. Tez said so. It was a mentality thing for him, and then for Tez, Sosa, and D-Mac, just them missing shots. So
yeah,
that's pretty much what it came down to for all of them.
Yeah, I look for them to make their shots next game for sure. They were missing easy buckets at the rim, not getting rebounds. So I look for more intensity, especially since Finch called out Ant in the presser.
Yeah, and sometimes that's needed. Like even when you're not making shots, you are the leader of the team. So we need your energy to be a 10 all the time. You can't go from starting the game with a 10 and then going down to a 5 or 4 throughout the game and then trying to pick it back up later. Now you got to stay level the whole entire time. And that's what it's about, being a leader of a team, especially a young leader at that as well. So Curry will miss a week. They said Curry's expected to miss like about a week.
So is that till game 5, right?
Yeah. On a spec will return BB. So he's expected to miss at least 1 week. What's that?
Wednesday, Thursday to Thursday.
Game 5 is 5/14. Oh yeah, so game 5, game 6 at best. So
yeah,
game 6 for sure he will play game 6, 1000%. So y'all really need to take one of these. Y'all really need to take one of these games right here. He'll 1000% play game 6. And 1000%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you expect a blowout next game?
They're gonna come out on one for sure. Minnesota gonna play really well, bro. But the thing about the Warriors is, and it's good for the Warriors to know that Curry's not playing this next game, so you can game plan how and think the lineup. You can come into the game knowing what you want to do versus wonder with him being questionable, wondering if he's going to play. So I think you can't underestimate Curry, you can't underestimate the Warriors, and ultimately you cannot underestimate Jimmy and Dre, bro. I think that's what it comes down to. But I think the Warriors are going to come out, knock down their shots. They're going to be at home. They're going to obviously avoid going down 0-2 or try to avoid going down 0-2. What I think is going to happen is how OKC come out tonight. I think we're going to see the Wolves come out like that tomorrow as well. So
But
I think OKC
I
come out with
really
that same
like
energy.
when Jimmy went down, you could tell that Kerr was scrambling for any and every option that he could in game 2 once Jimmy went down. But there was a difference this game when Steph went down. I think he kept his poise and he kept, the rotations intact to where what the game needed instead of trying to rush the flow of the game, trying to find something.
Yeah, I was feeling that too. He wasn't on no. I ain't gonna say he wasn't trolling because there was times I thought he was trolling, but like I can't really call it trolling. I thought he was just trying to look for the best possible outcome.
Yeah, and he
Which is
did
why
it.
certain guys didn't get too many minutes, but they still got minutes.
Like when Paz wasn't giving you anything, he went to the next one that was Spencer, and he gave you something. He didn't give you anything. He gave you something. So.
Nah, Spencer. I ain't gonna. Spencer had 2 little tough lays. I ain't gonna. He had 2 little cool little lays, and then he got him up out of there.
He did the sky hook. I was like, what in the world?
Randall couldn't believe that. I seen a different angle of it. Randall, the whole time he was guarding Pat Spencer, was looking at him like he looking at a kid or something. Like he was looking at him like he was Pat had no chance in hell of scoring on that possession. He couldn't believe Pat scored that.
Talking about the skyhook.
Yeah, that's Skyhook. Yeah,
that's what I was saying, bro. Like the Warriors, the Warriors hit some shit last night, bro. I ain't like they you know what I mean? Like you got to just tip your cat. And many didn't. So like they hit some shit, bro. Buddy Hield, he hit some shit, bro. Like for real. Like
Buddy was hooping. Buddy. Shout out to Buddy Hield for sure. He was hooping.
But him starting made a difference too. He's able to
what?
Him starting has made a difference. He's able to catch his rhythm more than just coming off the bench.
To my buddy.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Facts that. I want to see. Bro, Curry's he's probably gonna have a different starting lineup every game till Curry get back.
I don't know. I think he'll probably try to keep the same and just keep going. I don't know. He might he'll probably just insert Kuminga for defensive purposes. I mean, he might try it, and they might just continue to keep going small instead of trying to go big, and just keep bringing Looney and Post off the bench.
They saying Steph game 6. Where the game 6 coming from?
Because he respected
that's a week.
Yeah.
That's what they just said.
Yeah.
Damn.
Risha, if we win game 2, we win game 2, that'll be crazy.
Yeah, Risha, what happens if Golden State wins game 2? I think this series is different because if Golden State wins game 2, like for me personally, I said yesterday I think the Patriots can win. Patriots won game 2. Obviously, we know somebody can say, well, Garland, et cetera, was out. I think that series is over with. If Denver wins game 2, I think that's over with. But if the Knicks win game 2, I'm not saying that's over with. And if the Warriors win game 2, I'm still not saying this series is over with because I still know in the back of my mind Curry is out for so long. So like Curry will still miss game 3 and 4 at most, So, and I still think the Wolves can still win or even out that series at 2 apiece.
Wait, you said if OKC go down 2, you said it's over?
Yeah, I think Denver wins that series. If OKC lose tonight, Denver win that series.
Oh, that's how you rocking, big bro.
1,000%. If Denver wins tonight, OKC not winning that series.
I'm
sorry.
So you think OKC is incapable of ringing on 4 straight?
It's not about OKC being incapable. It's about Jokic being able to control the game at his size and stature and how good he is offensively. There's no way in hell I think that because he's a tough guard, he's a tough cover. They're already gonna have to shift their defense to opposite what they did in game 1 tonight for him. And what I mean by that is obviously seeing 2 hedge, gap, double, all type of stuff. You're gonna have to see all that tonight, and it's gonna have to force the others. Eventually, I don't think that's going to work with him playing 40 plus minutes a night. And if he gets a 2-0 series lead and he going back home, all he got to do is win 1 out of those games, or even just 2 more before you win 4. I think that happens. I'm more likely banking on that, just due to the experience and them being there, and all that comes into play because OKC is still an inexperienced team. They're still a young team, so I think Denver, if they go up 2-0, they'll know what's at stake and what they got to do going back home, and that's winning game 3 or game 4.
Yeah, and it's like you banking shit at that point, shit. If you OKC then had to bank on Denver, they gotta have some bad shooting games, bro, for them to really swing the series back around. Like,
Yeah, low key. Not even that. They also got to bank on J-Dub and Chet being better offensively, and then Chet and Ihart avoiding foul trouble. But neither one of them bigs played 30 minutes, so that's why they got smashed on the glass. Neither one of their bigs played 30 minutes last night. The other night. That's why Christian and Aaron and Jokic was able to excel from a rebounding perspective or standpoint last night, bro. Nobody was down there. So, Milo, come here. Now, he be going crazy. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, bro. J-Dub. Nigga, the eyes on you tonight because we know how SGA come in. We know he's gonna get his shots up, but we also know how he's gonna be guarded in critical moments throughout the game. So a lot of it's gonna come down to J-Dub. You know, what are you gonna do as a secondary creator? 5 for 21, 5 for 20 can't happen again. And
that was crazy.
Yeah. Because I think I was in and out of sleep in that game because I thought OKC was gonna win.
I did too. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't watch that whole game. I thought OKC was gonna win.
Nah, y'all crazy. Y'all ain't watched that. That was
no.
I'm about to say, I ain't gonna lie, Lo. I was on my way to turn that shit off, but I kept watching though.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I was thinking about turning that joint on, but once I seen they face started fighting, I'm like, nah, hold on. Hold on. We could see something crazy here.
No, I thought I was asleep when they were up big, and I was like, they got this. I woke up to swipe us video on Twitter talking about Aaron Gordon game winner. I was like, what?
Aaron Gordon ain't slim. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Aaron Gordon been hooping, bro.
Yeah.
I expect. Well, I ain't gonna say I expect because it's still some question marks with them other guys, the OKC. Right. But if they show up though, I OKC should step tonight. They should. I'm gonna say they should.
I'm expecting a blowout tonight, respectfully.
I mean, it was a blowout yesterday.
I mean, y'all about to say, nigga, it was a blowout.
And then they lost.
And then they gotta. Nah, I'm talking about they gotta finish it this time though. Like, they can't do. You feel me?
Oh, you expect them to finish it?
Right, because J-Dub, bro.
Has Shea been good or?
J-Dub was really good in the last series. That's what makes this crazy. Like, it's like, bro, don't. You just built so much. You feel me? Like, you just hooped in the last series, bro. Don't do that just to go MIA when they really need you, bro. When it matters most, bro. Like, please don't do that, bro.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I've been working on some apparel. Obviously I cannot do the same or both while I'm on YouTube. So I will fire up the playback room and we can continue to have some open play NBA playoff talks in regard to the 2 game 2s tonight and ultimately just obviously what we watched last night as well. But it was a great time on playback today. YouTube today. Going over the playback. This is not the show, y'all. I am not running it like it's a show. The show was 2 hours long right here on YouTube. We are good to go. We're going to be talking about some NBA playoffs. It's going to be open talks. Open talks and open vibes on Saturday right now. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. But this is not the show. I just want to make that clear. The show is over. Everybody that came through to YouTube today, YouTube today, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting Fact and Stats, for rocking with Fact and Stats, for subscribing to Fact and Stats. Also, make sure you all get some Fact and Stats apparel if you don't have any Fact and Stats apparel. And then make sure you check out the website, which is where you can get your apparel, like right here, the link in the description on this video, factandstats.us. And if you are not a member on the YouTube side, I would love for you all to become a member as well. You can also become a member by clicking the link in the description that says to become a member. And just thank you, man. We'll be back here tomorrow at 11. I'll probably start on playback tomorrow because I have to be somewhere at 1 p.m. So please be on the lookout for that. I'll probably start on playback tomorrow because I got to be somewhere at 1 p.m. There's no point to start on YouTube and then try to transition over to playback. It's just not going to make sense. So yeah, playback.tv/Fact and Stats. You can pull up there for some sports talks real quick. If the room continues on, if it does not, that's fine. I'm not forcing it. Again, it is not the show. Just some NBA playoff talks, open talks, and vibes. I'll see y'all in playback, y'all. Peace, blessings, and love. Thank y'all so much for the support today.